Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. We got a Headcore 94 Ti for you today, and if that Ti sounds interesting, that's because it's something that we've never said in terms of Headcore skis before. So they have really gone 100% in the other direction as they have in the past, moving away from the dual carbon laminate and into the dual metal style of ski construction. And however you may feel about that, I know that I really always enjoyed that Core 93 and that carbon power. I love that lightweight energy and that real nice flex. But this is still a really good ski, and they've just moved more towards the mainstream. I think that they had trouble with the carbon-powered cores for a couple reasons. One is that it wasn't in kind of an instant or an easy, attraction. You kind of either liked it initially, like I did, or you had to work into it. But there wasn't really anything instinctual about it. The other thing was it's hard to get carbon to be consistent in ski construction, whereas metal is a lot easier. So they struggled with consistency with the carbon-powered cores, and I believe they ended up generating a lot of waste as a result. So skis not flexing within certain tolerances, or one ski flexing different than the other, whereas metal is seemingly more consistent, and that'll kind of save them in the long run. But I do think that moving towards a more traditional style of ski construction and more competing with mainstream ski companies and ski construction techniques, I think makes sense. You know, that older core construction was a little bit on the fringe, and you just don't sell a lot of skis on the fringe. Whether some people like myself really like them or not is kind of irrelevant. You know, people are in the business of selling skis, and this is going to do that for them better. So they are a little bit more similar to other skis in this range. You know, now we're talking about Enforcer 94s and Blizzard Anomaly 94s and skis in that range, as opposed to lighter ones like a Vocal Blaze 94, which was, or an Elan Ripstick 96, which was more in line with the older core series. So we're moving into that two sheet of metal world here with this Core 94. And it works great. You know, they've done a really nice job, in year one of this ski construction, and I attribute that a lot to their research and design and that development coming down from the race room and just their ability to make a big ski. They're a big company. So they did a really nice job here. The core of the ski is now made with a blend of Caruba and beech. So adding that denser beech to the lighter weight Caruba brings a little bit of power to it. And then they do use those two sheets of metal, this laminate of graphene, and then we have flax hybrid in the top sheet here as well. That adds another damping layer to the mix, as well as increases durability by reducing chipping and scratching. So nice finish to these skis for sure. It does add up in terms of weight. This is the 184, and we are on the scale here at 1,955 grams, which is something that we've never been able to say about a Headcore ski before. So creeping in on that 2,000 gram mark is kind of crazy to talk about. But yeah, really interesting. And then the flex is different as well. You know, we always kind of had that really, really stiff flex from that carbon-based ski, and now we get a little bit more round and even flex in the 94. And I think that really helps with softer snow, crud, chop, bumps, trees, anything like that where you don't want the ski to be deflected as much. The older ones would do that. It was kind of up to the skier to hold the ski steady, whereas now the ski is going to do more of the work, and I think that more people are going to hook into that. In order to get the ski to feel more energetic, they are putting in quite a bit of positive camber here. That is a pretty significant camber height. So now that we're adding two sheets of metal, beech in the wood core, flax in the top sheet, all to dampen and quiet the ski, they got to balance it somehow, and they do so with this camber underfoot. So pretty dramatic in that camber profile. And then as we get wider in the core series, we're seeing an increase of taper and rocker. Not a ton over the 88 and between the 100, but it is somewhere in the middle, so that widest part is brought down for better flotation in the shovel. And then we see not a whole lot of rocker in the tail starting about here, and that is where the taper is as well. So nice balance of shape and profile in these skis, but kind of a rounded tail here to help with the release from the turns and make it easier to get, from edge to edge, especially in softer snow. Yeah, this mid-90s, that's where you want to be for mixing firm and soft snow. I found these to be really, really capable carvers, super predictable on trail, and then off trail, they did what you told them to do. They didn't stand out in one specific way or another, but they were very predictable and just really consistent from tip to tail. So I appreciated that about the skis. While you might not get the same energy or that really vivacious feel that you got from the carbon, you got a lot more predictability and consistency out of these Core 94s. We have some additional feedback from testers here. Mark McDonald notes, this was an amazing all-around East Coast ski. This ski can do it all in any terrain. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that that the mid-90s shape and the two sheets of metal have a lot to do with that, where if you're here in the East, in Vermont or New England or somewhere like that, and you're dealing with a mix between really firm terrain and softer terrain even throughout the day, having something in the mid-90s with two sheets of metal is incredibly useful. So big agreement with that, where it's made to do everything. It's really an all-encompassing ski, even though it might not excel in one particular area, be it carving on groomers or floating in powder. It does have a very well-rounded personality. And I think it does kind of go into the advanced and expert category. We're getting close to 2,000 grams, a stiffer flex, and just more input needed to get the ski to do what you want. I think that puts it in the advanced and expert category, even though I don't think it's overly demanding for an intermediate. Maybe pushing past that camber might be a little bit difficult, but overall, really well-rounded ski for a lot of people, and I think that's what Head is going for here with the new series from new Core series. So make sure you check out this all-new Core 94 Ti here at SkiEssentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.